Are you watching that mess that's going on right now with the caravan coming up? Are you watching this?
Well, we're certainly watching. Welcome back to The Next Revolution. Breaking tonight, Customs telling a caravan of migrants from Central America that the San Diego port of entry has reached full capacity. Hundreds of men, women and children have gathered there seeking asylum, many claiming that they're looking to escape gang violence. They're likely going to try again tomorrow to cross into the United States. The Trump administration has called the group a threat and is urging those families to go through proper legal channels. Joining me now is syndicated columnist Ann Coulter. Ann, how are you doing? Nice to see you.
Nice to see you, Steve.
All right, so I suspect you've got a lot to say about this. Let's go with what's going on down there at the border right now with a caravan. What's your take on the caravan and what the Trump administration is doing about it?
Well, I wish Trump would just stay on the road like he was in campaign mode again, because he gets instant feedback from the crowd, and that's when he says really popular things that get Republicans elected and could possibly defend against a blue wave. But then he gets back to Washington, and he's not doing anything about the caravan. I mean, he sent out a tweet a few weeks ago saying, oh, don't worry, thanks, Mexican government has stopped the caravan. And then the Daily Mail goes to Mexico and says, no, we haven't stopped the caravan. We're giving them 30-day passes, 20-day passes to make sure that they can make it to America. They're not all traveling with the caravan anymore, but they're spreading out so they can go to different access points. They are 100% still coming. All they have to do is step across the border. Oh, and they have lots of lawyers from countries without borders advising them. This is a political attack on our nation by a political group that doesn't believe nations should have borders. They're advised, they're told what to say, they step across the border, they say asylum, and that's it. They're going to get shipped in, and we'll get another round of MS-13 and another round of MS-13. I mean, Trump has a lot of power. Yeah. He was the one who was elected. It's Republicans and Congress that the American people hate. If he wants Congress to pass this law, it wouldn't be very hard. Maybe if you spent a little more time on making America great again and not working on making South Korea and China great again, he could get back to pressuring Congress to do something for the American people. And that would be pass a law saying you don't just get to step in and say, I'm claiming asylum, and then get a bus and a box lunch into America.
And then there's also the point about the wall. I mean, these pictures, I can't think of anything that's a more direct argument for what he was saying all along, which you know doesn't seem to be happening.
No, and I mean, there's a reason that became the chant. If you go back and look at his famous, Mexican rapist speech announcing his candidacy, he talks about a lot of things. He threw out tax cuts, Obamacare, the military, blah, blah, blah. It was from going out and giving these speeches and having, a 10,000-person focus group every day of the campaign that he saw which lines were the popular ones. Well, there's a reason that the American people, unlike the donors, wanted a wall. A wall is the only thing that will work. You don't check with the people whose jobs are going to be made obsolete to find out if they need a wall. No, we just need drones and more border police. No, we want a wall for a reason, to stop the heroin, to stop the caravans, and he has 100% power to build a wall. He's the commander-in-chief. His duty is, his number one duty is to protect the borders. It's not to resolve North and South Korea's, dispute. That's not our problem. North Korea is China's problem. The Syria is Europe and France's problem. Mexico is our problem. So, I mean, are European newspapers consumed with what's going to happen with Mexico and the caravan? Are Chinese and South Korean newspapers worried about illegal immigrants coming into America and draining our people dry? No, they aren't. Why are we worried about their problems? That was the whole point of Make America Great Again.
You are you are the true purist. I love it. So listen, you mentioned jobs earlier. You noticed something in the president's rally last night that was very interesting. Hasn't got picked up that much. Let's play it, and I'll get your reaction on the other side.
And for the farmers, okay, it's going to get good. And we're going to let your guest workers come in, because we're going to have strong borders, but we have to have your workers come in. The unemployment picture is so good, it's so strong, that we have to let people come in. They're going to be guest workers. They're going to come in. They're going to work on your farms. We're going to have the H-2Bs come in. We're going to have a lot of things happening. But then they have to go out. Then they have to go out.
So what's that about?
Well, please first notice that it's dead silence through that entire blather until he gets to, and then they're going to have to go out. That's why I want him giving speeches nonstop so he can get this feedback. I don't know what this is about. You tell me, because the way I remember it, we did not elect Jeb Bush. I was completely sure we elected Donald Trump. Where he gets this nonsense, and the H-2B visas he's talking about are absolutely the worst you could possibly come up with. They aren't farm workers, and by the way, the farmers can build robots. I don't know if you've ever used an ATM, but maybe it's time for farmers to move into the 20th century. Leaving that aside, that's not what H-2B visas are. It's for working at places like Mar-a-Lago, working at in entertainment and resorts and restaurants and construction. The most important jobs, I would add, now that he and Kanye are bonding, the most important jobs for African Americans. I mean, he gave that beautiful speech in Milwaukee saying to African Americans, what have the Democrats given you? Give us a chance. This is how you would give African Americans and, all working class Americans a chance. They didn't ask for a tax cut. They asked for jobs. These are jobs. And he's standing up at a rally promising to bring in H-2B workers. That was the whole Disney thing. Remember, that was a big deal during the debate. It hurt Marco Rubio.
Yes.
And it's going to hurt Trump.
Totally agree.
I mean, I hear these speeches, and all I can see is a huge blue wave, a blue tsunami. But there is still time. Trump can bring it back. One piece of good news. I'm sorry, I'm going on like this endless monologue, but one piece of good news, Steve, is yesterday's New York Times had an article saying that Trump is disregarding the advice from the loser Republicans, i.e. Paul Ryan and Mitch McConnell, to talk about tax cuts. Because he finds those issues boring, and he would prefer to talk about immigration and trade. I am 100% with the president on that, and that's the only way to stop a blue wave.
A lovely moment of unity to end on. Anne, thank you so much. See you soon.
Thank you.